everyone to the Week 4 Sunday morning live stream. My name is at Nate Cheat, Nathan. I'm joined today with Oklahoma Dougie and Sean Lanigan here at Lanny1925. We are part of the IDP guys, Dynasty Football Digest, Writer Digest Network. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel, hit the little notification bell, and you will get told when we go live. We go live quite often during the week. We've got this show. We've got Rated IDP Live with Oklahoma Dougie there. We produce the F3 podcast, which Sean is a host of, and we put that out on this network. So there's a ton of great video content for your fantasy football needs. Today is going to be a little bit on the shorter side. We've got a few things going on. We got Dougie here straight from the field coming to you live from the cab of a front end loader. And then Sean here, wishing,
hungover.
yeah, wishing drank more fluids last night. What's up, Trader Joe?
Jersey makes up for it, though.
Yeah. So get us your start sit questions. We're gonna be here for a little bit and just taking questions for as long as we can, answering them, having good conversation, and getting ready for week 4 of the NFL. So Sean, before we kick this thing off, what do you think of the Lions-Chiefs game today?
I was actually just going to kick it off with that. I was talking to my dad right before we started this, and it's just like, yeah, I fully expect to get destroyed. Like, I fully expect that in my head. I'm just, like, prepared for that. But it's almost worse that way because, like, somewhere deep down, like, I've convinced myself so hard that we're going to be destroyed that, like, something is fighting back. And it's like, okay, but what if?
Right, right. I know.
And it's like, no, there is no what if. We're going to get fucking destroyed. But that what if is just, like, alive and well and, like, nurtured somewhere deep in my soul. And so, like, it's coming and we're going to get destroyed. And then I'm just going to, like, feel like shit for the rest of the day.
But will you? I mean, so
yes,
we take this as a loss. We knew this was a loss going in. Everyone penciled us in like 1-4 going into the bye, and we are 2-0-1 right now. If we go to the bye 2-1-1, that's not bad, especially with everyone else in the NFC North having a loss.
No, it's not bad, but I'm still gonna feel like shit. Like,
you're a Lions fan. That's just the way we live.
Yeah, we just always feel like shit. If we didn't feel like shit, we'd be a fan of a different team. If we're masochists. So, yeah.
It is interesting, though, this season, this inkling of hope, I guess, as a Lions fan. Like,
no, we get this every year. You just forget about it by, like, week 9.
True. That is accurate. When I was listening to the Eagles game, I just expected like a sack, turnover, or 3 and out every time Stafford got the ball, and I was just like very surprised, like every drive that it just continued. I was like, what's going on here? This isn't the same team.
It's something where, like, I told myself at the beginning of the week, like, if we even play close to the Chiefs this week, I'm going to feel really good about it. You know, like, if we play the Chiefs close, I'm going to feel good about this team. And that's true. Like, if we keep it within 10 points, 7 points, like, I'll feel a lot better about this team because the Chiefs are really good. And if we can play with them, I feel good about the team. But, like, I'm still going to feel like shit when we lose.
Yeah. So here's... you got the Lions, who have a decent offense, pretty decent defense right now, going through the year. And then you got the Chiefs, that high-powered offense, but not so good on the defensive side. What do you think about this game from a game script perspective? Do you think this is going to be a shootout? A lot of people are saying this is going to be a shootout. And who does that affect in fantasy?
So it's really tough to say what it will be because I know what it should be, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying that the Lions should play like a ball control offense and keep the ball away from the Chiefs. But it's just like, I feel like people are not really like walking through in their head what that looks like, because like, okay, you limit the number of possessions, but limiting the number of possessions for both teams doesn't actually change anything. You know, like that's what I don't understand about this theory. It's like, yeah, okay, so if the Chiefs have the ball 10 times, they can score 10 times. If the Chiefs have the ball 4 times, they can score 4 times. But if the Chiefs have the ball 4 times, then you only have the ball 4 times. Like,
unless you get turnovers.
Right. But we're assuming turnovers are something that you can't count on, because you can't.
Right.
So, like, ball control is limiting the possessions that the Chiefs get, but it's also limiting the possessions the Lions get. And the Lions have not run the ball effectively at all this year. But, like, from every media outlet, they're talking about how they need to run the ball. And if that's what it is, where the Lions are running the ball, trying to run the clock and just like make sure that to keep the ball away from the Chiefs, this is going to be a nightmare trap game for fantasy, because like everybody's going to start them thinking it's going to be a shootout, and it's not going to be. In my opinion, the Lions throw the ball better than they run the ball. You do what you do best.
Yeah.
You go for it and you play aggressively, because you're not going to win this game by scoring 21 points. You got to score 35 to 42 points.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
That's what they should do. What they will do, who knows?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think if it does become a shootout, there is that chance, that possibility that we could get a couple turnovers and this game could be, close and on our side. So, Dougie, how are you feeling with the 49ers on bye right now? You don't have to worry about a loss.
Yeah, but it's been it's been a weird season. To start the season, I penciled in that Pittsburgh game as a loss. So Big Ben going down and taking that W there and going into the bye undefeated, you got to feel good.
Yeah.
Can't feel bad about it. So we'll see where it is. The secondary is still banged up and kind of getting picked on a little bit. Jason Verrett came into the game for Kello Witherspoon the last game, and the very next 3 plays was a passing interference, a holding call, and then a touchdown. All 3 thrown Jason Verrett's way. So hope Kello gets back pretty soon, because Verrett didn't look like anywhere near his old self.
Yeah, I'm a big Witherspoon fan. I was a big fan of him in college. What is he playing pretty well this year?
Playing real well. I believe he's top 5 in the league in PFF grade for cornerbacks. Really taking another step with his press coverage, and playing a little bit closer to people instead of giving them that blanket, that he's been given in the past. A little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, he was always really interesting to me, just because, he was tall, long frame. He was pretty sticky in man coverage, but he just wasn't physical enough in college. So that was always something where it's like, yeah, I think when he gets to the next level, like he's gonna get coached up to play a little more physical, and he'll excel there.
And when you got the front 7 they have, your cornerbacks can take a few more chances. Maybe can be a step behind, because you got pressure in the quarterback's face almost immediately. So, that helps tenfold, so.
Yeah, and that was the big discussion in the offseason, was whether it's defensive backs or defensive line that are more important to stopping the pass. And it kind of goes back and forth all the time, because good defensive backs, create coverage stacks, and good defensive line create like pressured throws. So it kind of goes both ways, and that nobody's really figured it out yet.
And back to the Chiefs-Lions game, I just noticed that the Lions were one of the best in the league versus opposing tight ends. They've only given up 24 total points at tight ends through 3 games. And, of course you ain't going to set Kelsey. But, only giving up an average of 8 points a game to tight ends. maybe something to look out after there.
Yeah, that one's a little misleading because when they played Ertz last week, the whole second, like he tore him up in the first half a little bit, or at least he was on track to tear him up. And then second half, they came out and they double teamed him the entire second half. So they were like, okay, so Eagles are beating us with Ertz. Let's just take that away and force him to beat us a different way. And, it's like Patricia's a Belichick disciple. So, like, that's what they do. They pick one aspect of the game and they're like, okay, you can't do that anymore. Do something else. And, this was one of the most glaring examples of that in Patricia's tenure. Was just, they're beating us with Ertz. We don't want you to do that, so we're going to double team them, make sure you can't do that, and we're going to force you to run your offense through Nelson Aguilar.
Which, hey, if that's something we get out of having Coach Patricia, I'm all for it, because if you recall last 10, 15, 20 years as a Lions fan, they can never make adjustments, and generally, if you're beating them one way, they don't do anything about it.
Yeah,
they just lose.
If you're beating them with the run, just double down and keep running it. Like, run it twice as hard.
So, yeah, because they're not going to do anything. So
yeah, they're not changing shit.
It's nice to see that they are able to adjust and come out and make that change, because that's not normal for the Lions, but I'm hoping that they can get the run game going. What did you think of, not to make this a Lions show, and we're going to get to questions soon. We got one from David Matula in the chamber that we'll get to here shortly. But when what's his name? The offensive coordinator said we're one player away from a running game.
I mean, what player? It's something where I don't know. Fuck running.
Yeah, what does that mean? I don't know.
Just fuck running the football.
Yeah, we got Stafford. I'm not. If we can piece together 100 yards between 4 or 5 guys in a game, that's enough for me. I don't need a 100-yard runner.
I think 70%. You should run the ball on first down 30% of the time. The other 70% should be play action.
Yeah.
So you throw it twice, or you throw it, and then if you're close to the sticks, you can run it, or you can throw a deep bomb. You open up whatever you want to do there, and then third down, you're third and short. But you should throw it on first down, and when you throw it, you should use play action.
Yeah.
That's just
call me crazy, but I think they missed Theo Riddick.
No, they didn't even use Theo. They didn't use
him. They never used him right.
They did a few years ago. They used him correctly, and then they're like, okay, all right, we know how to use him. Let's do something else.
Yeah, because they got Kerryon Johnson who can catch, and I prefer him to catch because Theo towards the end there was having problems in the backfield. It was like a 60 or 70% catch rate. There were oftentimes he would just catch the ball, run into a brick wall.
His vision was always atrocious.
Yeah, and then they started running him up the middle, and it was that was the worst thing to do in the world. And then we got Kerryon Johnson. It's he can do what Theo can do, and he can run up the gut.
He can't run routes like Theo. But...
True. Yeah. No. That was the one thing that he was very good at, as a compliment to Golden Tate, running that short out route.
Golden Tate's the one they really miss.
Yeah, that is true. But so we got a special request here from Mr. Orange Man 3142. He says, "Doug, let's see those feet. Fat.
No.
What's up, Orange Man?
Where the fuck is John?
He's at home. He's coming to pick me up shortly, and we'll be going out to actually meet up with Rob, Mr. Mayhem, Joey the Tooth, Snacks, bunch of guys here. So let's get into some questions here. So David Matula asks, Ngakoue versus Denver or Davenport versus New Orleans?
Davenport versus New Orleans?
Davenport would be versus Cowboys.
Oh yeah, that would be.
New Orleans.
Yeah.
So
I just read them. It's too early to think.
Yeah, I got you. I really like Davenport if Rankins. I knew Rankins was questionable coming into this week. I think if Sheldon Rankins can find his way on the field, I think that's going to bolster Davenport. But we all know about that Cowboys line. Oh man, let's see. Who was the other one there, John? Who was the other one?
Ngakwe.
Yannick.
I
guess I'd go Yannick just for the fact that that Cowboys line is better than that Denver line.
Yeah, I think I'm going the same way. I don't feel good about it, but I mean, it's not great business to start guys against the best offensive line in the league.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I'd pay attention to those and see if Rankins was playing. If Rankins was playing, it'd be a lot closer for me because I think he fills the gap in the middle a lot more.
I don't think he is playing, to be honest. I can't say that for sure, but I've been monitoring it throughout the week, so I have a lot of Rankins shares, and I've not seen anything promising yet.
So we got Joe chimes in with Scary Terry is out. Terry McLaurin is not playing this week. So that's good for me.
Melvin Harmon, baby.
I gotta fix 10 lineups now.
Nice. All right, we got a question from Facebook. Pick 2 for PPR running back: Chubb, Montgomery, or Darrell Williams.
McCoy's in today, I believe, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So Chubb Montgomery.
Chubb Montgomery. All right. One more. We got a back-to-back. 2 spots, PPR wide receivers: Kirk, Ross, Metcalf, Hardman.
All right. So for sure, Kirk.
So then Ross, Metcalf, or Hardman.
I don't know.
I like Hardman. I like Hardman against those lines. As mentioned earlier about the points being given up, the lines are giving up an average of 45 points a game to wide receivers.
Right. So here's the thing, though. Hardman plays primarily in the slot, right? Like that's where he plays. So Justin Coleman, I think, is the top graded nickel corner in the NFL, and he's just been erasing people basically. It hasn't been the nickel or the slot wide receiver that's been killing us. If he plays outside, then I'm into Hardman. If he's playing in the nickel, I think that's a dangerous play, but I also don't like John Ross, so I might go Metcalf here.
Interesting. All righty. DOF honk honk. Thielen versus the Bears or Edelman with questionable snaps today. PPR. So Thielen or Edelman?
Thielen.
Yeah, Thielen.
You're asking for trouble when you start somebody who's going to get questionable snaps. I mean, you're asking for trouble starting someone who's playing with Kirk Cousins too, but like, I think that's going to be a ball control game because the Bears can't throw it either. I don't know. They both are not great starts this week, but I'm taking Thielen.
Gotcha. So Heathrow says Slay is out. Can we confirm that? Do you know? I know he was injured and questionable. I don't know if.
I'd love to be able to confirm it, but I'm on this live show with you, so I'm not getting anything.
I'm looking it up right now. What does that do for the wide receivers?
I mean, that just basically ends the game. The game's over.
Yep. I'm starting Hardman today in about 3 or 4 leagues, so I'm hoping with Tyreek being out and not a lot going on there in that wide receiving core, I'm hoping they move him outside and get him away from Coleman, because if we know Coleman's one of the best nickel corners, surely the Chiefs do as well, and move Hardman around a little bit. So I really like Hardman today.
And yes, Darius Slay is out.
Yeah. Where'd you find that?
Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport.
Okay, they tweeted it.
Yep.
Gotcha. Damn, that sucks. I was hoping he'd make it back. At least Stafford did. He was questionable with a back, and that I guess turned around. Oh yeah, breaking. They just sent out the inactives. All right, so let's go with Eric H here. James Conner, DJ Moore, or Curtis Samuel. Pick one.
What's up, EH?
Let's see. All
Uh,
right, so
give me them names one more time. What was that one more time?
James Conner, DJ Moore, or Curtis Samuel.
no, we got.
Who the Steelers got? Bengals?
That's what I'm looking for right now.
Yeah, I believe they
It
got.
is the Bengals.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not
Monday
comparing
night.
to the Bengals. Give me James Conner.
I think so too. Yeah, Panthers have the Texans. I don't know. I'd like to see another week of Kyle Allen before I start jumping on the Panthers wide receivers. I think.
Gotcha. All right, Joyce Rivera, Wilson or Dak?
That's actually a fantastic one.
Ooh, that's a good one. Real good one.
Yeah. So.
Give me who does Seattle play? Who Seattle play today?
Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Give me Wilson.
Yep, I'll take Wilson as well. The Cardinals are number 1 in the league of giving up fantasy points to opposing teams.
Yeah.
So, give me the Cardinals. They give up an average of 36.77 points to opposing quarterbacks.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's not great.
Mm-hmm. All right. Marcos Valdez, Godwin, Hollywood, or Paul Richardson PPR?
We got the Ravens versus the Browns.
With Scary Terry out, give
Yeah.
me Paul Richardson.
Okay. The Bucks got the Rams. Give me Hollywood.
Hollywood?
Yeah. The Browns have had a lot of struggles, and I feel like big plays are coming.
Nice. All righty. Eric H. back with the Josie Jewell, Preston Brown, or Quincy Williams. Start one.
All right. Denver has.
I'll take Quincy Williams.
Sorry, I'm looking for the Jets matchup here.
It'd be between him and Preston Brown for me.
Who's Quincy Williams going against?
What?
Who's Quincy Williams going against?
That's a question.
That's a question.
It is.
This is actually one that I had to make earlier. This
Jaguars.
is a decision I had to make on my
He's
own earlier.
Going against Broncos, right?
Yeah, they are. Okay. Yeah, give me Quincy Williams. They can't really throw the ball, so they're gonna run the ball, and he'll get his opportunities.
Nice. All right. Let's see. Was planning on playing Darrell Williams over Chubb due to the Chiefs' increased lead and possibility of eating up the clock with the run. I think this is in response to picking Chubb and Montgomery over Williams.
Yeah, so I guess that's entirely possible, but the Lions are generally pretty good against the run, for one. For two, they haven't even really scratched the surface of how good they should be against the run. And for 3, we don't know. Like Daryl Williams has had one game where he was the guy, and it wasn't even really like intentional. So I think it's entirely possible he only sees like 6 carries, and McCoy sees the rest.
Yep.
Yep.
All
I
right.
agree. It's gonna be tough sledding there for Chubb playing the Ravens, one of the best NFL defenses. But yeah, I can't see myself setting him for a Chiefs backup.
Yeah.
All righty. Joyce Riviera, Calvin Ridley, Allen Robinson, Shady McCoy, pick 2, half-point PPR.
All right. So definitely Shady. It was Calvin Ridley or Allen Robinson.
Yep.
Allen Robinson would be a lot more appealing if Trubisky didn't play quarterback.
Yep.
Let's see. So the Bears have the Vikings, and the Falcons have the Titans. Both of them are struggling to throw the football. I think I like Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, I think I like him too. Out
Yep,
of
same for me.
those, yeah, for sure. All right, guys. We lost Dougie. So make sure you get your start sit questions into us. We're going to keep taking a few more here, probably wrap this up by noon. If you are looking for more questions to get answered, I will recommend FF Stompy, Sam Lane with the Fantasy Mercs do a great show, start sit show on Sunday mornings. They go usually a little after us and go up until game time. Unfortunately, we don't do that because, well, we like to start our, do our own start sits and set our lineups and generally go places and do things for football Sundays. So we do this a little earlier, but we will be probably wrapping up shortly, depending on if we get Doug back. And we'll be back to a regular scheduled time next week. So get those questions in. So Sean, what do you got coming down the pike in terms of content? What have you been up to? How's F3 going?
F3 has been really good. We got some pretty cool guests lined up. We haven't locked it in yet, so I don't want to talk about who we're bringing on yet. But yeah, it's been good. I really enjoyed doing that show with Joey and Andrew, where it's basically like we just kind of sit down, we talk fantasy football, and we just see where it goes. And like before the show, we just talk about a bunch of different things that happened, and we decide like, okay, these are the things that are important, and then we just go with it and start talking. It's just 45 minutes of us talking dynasty fantasy football every week.
Yeah, no worries. So it looks like Dougie said he's got bad connection, so may not be coming back. So we'll wrap this up here shortly. But real quick, Sean, in full PPR, this guy needs one: Gordon, Hardman, or Jones. Marvin Jones.
Okay, not Marvin Jones, just because I don't know what this offense is going to look like today.
Do you think last week was a fluke with him? He seemed to be getting those check down passes, and his hands were good. Not that he's been known for bad hands, but he has been known for a few drops here and there.
It's not even that. It's more just that he's always struggled to create separation. So I guess, I don't know. I'm ignoring Jones today because I don't trust that we're going to go with the game plan I think we should against the Chiefs. So then it was Gordon or who?
Mecole Hardman.
Oh, man. I think I'm going Gordon just because with Edelman out, I'm assuming we're talking
Josh
Gordon, not Melvin Gordon in the flex spot. Yeah. I think I'm going with Josh Gordon just with Edelman out. I think that's a really good option. Whereas the Chiefs Lions game, that game script is totally up in the air. It could be totally wild.
Yeah, I feel like Kansas City might force the that game script to be a shootout though, because while the Lions have a decent defense, I don't think they have enough of a defense to stop a shootout.
No, but like nobody has the defense to just stop the Chiefs. But like,
Right.
I feel like if the Lions come out running the ball and then the Chiefs score a touchdown, they're going to continue running the ball until they're down like 17 points.
And then it becomes a shootout in like the
then
second half of the first quarter.
Then it'd be, well, yeah, if you give up 17 points in the first quarter and you're on track to lose by 70, then yeah, it becomes a shootout.
Right. But like if the Lions can't stop that is what I'm trying to say is like you got 2 possessions for Kansas City at least in the first quarter. And if they both go for touchdowns.
I think we're overblowing that aspect of it because like the Chiefs have a really, really good offense, but they haven't, like, you look at their scores, they're not putting up like 70 points. You know, they're putting up somewhere in the 30s, high 20s to 30s. And the Lions are the toughest defense they faced so far. So yeah, like, no, I don't expect the Lions to shut them down. Like, I don't. I'm not trying to be a homer and say the Lions defense is going to shut down the Chiefs.
I guess I'm just homer on the other side, or jaded, I guess I should say, where I'm just expecting like, you know, there's going to be a return touchdown. Holmes is going to throw from the 1 yard line to the other 1 yard line for a touchdown.
And then that's what I believe.
Yeah.
With my head, I'm seeing like, okay, they're not going to put up 70 points. And this is the toughest defense they faced so far. True.
But welcome back, Oklahoma Dougie. Glad, you know, connection issues are a bitch. But so everyone out there, get your start set questions in. We're gonna take a few more, and also we might as well take this to time to promote some stuff. Make sure you're on the YouTube Writer Digest Network. Subscribe. We got a lot of great video content, Rated IDP Live, at F3 Podcast. We've got videos from Vital Fantasy Football Information with Tyler Ghee. He's been doing a Periscope, and then we cut that up and create a great video and podcast out of that. About 15 minutes on a topic this week was the Patriots backfield, who to own, Sony, what's up with Sony Michel, that kind of thing. And so that's great stuff. We got great podcasts, IDP guys, for your IDP information, F3. We've got the Vital Fantasy Football information, all of that great stuff. Also, go to the websites idpguys.org and dynastyfootballdigest.com. There is subscriptions on both sites for $1 a month. Great information, great tools, stuff to help you with start sits every week. We got start sit charts. We got rankings for both redraft and dynasty. And we put out a lot of free content as well, articles. Johnny the Greek puts out 2 amazing, one's a reaction, one's a start sit, probably like 20,000 words between the 2 articles, tons of information, everything you need to know. People live and die by that content, as well as we've got IDP Dude puts out some great stuff, Joey the Truth, amazing work. Sean, if he ever writes something, usually does good work. But we got another question here from Eric H. He asked Brian Burns, Montez Sweat, or Clelin Ferrell. He needs
Burns. Give me Burns every time, all the time. Don't even care who they're playing. Give me Brian Burns.
What do you say there, Dougie?
Yeah. Immediately, my first reaction was Burns, just like Lanny. So, yeah, I like that call. I'll go with Burns.
That's nice.
He's just clearly the most talented of the group to me.
Yeah. Is he living up to your draft
Absolutely.
stuff?
Absolutely. Yeah. He looks like a stud, and I have no idea how you let an elite pass rusher prospect like that fall in the draft.
Yeah, because wasn't the Lions were slated to get him, right?
No, they weren't. They never were. That was who I wanted them to take.
Oh, yeah, that might have been it.
That's it. But it was always something where I was like, yeah, no, it's not gonna happen. But like, they should have. Like, they
Yeah.
definitely should have. Anytime you can get an elite pass rusher, you should do that. But I don't know.
What do you think of, not to keep going back and forth with the Lions, but what do you think of their what they've been able to do with the rush? Because they're getting sacks, they're getting
They're getting coverage sacks.
coverage sacks and everything.
Now imagine how many sacks they could have if they had someone who could rush the passer.
Yeah, that's true.
But
Would you take that over TJ
Yes.
Hawkinson?
Yes.
Hawkinson?
I love Hawkinson, and I'm sure you remember I had a big Twitter battle like halfway through draft season where I was talking about how Hawk would be like a reasonable pick for the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just fighting off Lions fans who just kept calling him Ebron. But
yeah,
like Hawk was a reasonable pick, but he wasn't the best pick in my opinion. Like, I think tight ends are not as, like, if you can get a top tier pass rushing prospect like Burns was, in my opinion, you do that. You don't pass on that because they're rare.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Here's a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Looking at the overall scoring there with the Lions in that Lions game, I've noticed that the Lions are giving up 68 points a game to opposing cornerbacks. Can y'all explain that a little bit? What is it? This the run getting killed, so the Lions are having to throw the ball more? It's leaps and bounds ahead of the second place team, which is about 25 points below them. So, any correlation to that?
I'm honestly trying to come up with a good reason why that would be the case, and I cannot think of one.
It's staggering. The league average is hovering around 44 to 45 average points a game, and the Lions are giving up almost 25 points more a game.
Do you think that's
quarterbacks?
You said cornerbacks, like on defense?
Yeah.
So do you think that's because the Lions aren't getting good separation? So they're throwing it at guys who are basically, they still have their corners on them, and it's not like in the middle of the field or outside, farther down where your free safety is going to come in and help. And it's basically just you got your corner still on the guy, they make the catch, and then the corner does the tackle. Or I don't know how many Stafford's got 2 interceptions, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
And does that count past defense in the scoring?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
it's the balanced league scoring. Pass deflections get a little bump for corners, but just making them all relevant.
Yeah.
Right. So my other thing would be is that the Lions are doing some of the most aggressive passing in the NFL, and so I would say probably the combination of lack of separation and the aggressive passing probably contributes to that. I would expect that to regress to the mean a little bit, but those two things probably aren't going to change. Like, we're not going to gain more separation, and it doesn't seem like we're going to start playing less aggressively in the passing game.
Yeah.
So that's probably just a safe bet that they're going to be toward the top for the rest of the year if that's what the causes are.
Yeah, I mean, essentially it just means the corners are making the plays on defense when they play the Lions. So you got your safeties, your box safety is generally going to be for covering the short plays and the run up the gut, and then your free safeties for those, longer plays. And the Lions don't really make too many of those long bombs. Stafford's known for doing it more so when Calvin Johnson was there, but he hasn't really done that too much. Generally, it's kind of like right in the middle of the field or near the sideline, short throws, get the chunk yards. And like
That's
you
actually,
said,
that's not true this year though. They're throwing the ball down the field a lot more. Like their
Yeah.
aggressive passing percentage is like top 5 in the league right now, and I think his depth of target is top 5 as well.
oh, nice. Yeah,
So,
I mean, I generally have been listening on the radio to
yeah, that's
these, so
fair.
it's hard to see like exactly how far they're getting, but often I hear like Marvin Jones, a slant route, close to the sideline and stuff. So one thing I do love, and what I need to do, is start pairing radio broadcast with the video, because I
Dan
can't
Miller's,
stand.
yeah, Dan Miller's fantastic.
Yeah, for sure. So we got a couple questions off of Periscope here we'll take before we wrap this up. Hyde or McCoy in PPR?
McCoy.
All right. Walker or Todd Davis, 2 points per tackle?
Walker.
Peyton Barber.
Peyton Barber. So we'll hold that. We've got to get back to that. We got one more question here.
Oh, no. I wasn't going with Walker. I'm wondering which Walker. Who are we talking
Linebacker. Anthony Walker, I'm assuming.
about? Anthony Walker.
Yeah.
Go Anthony Walker.
All right.
Yeah, same.
So defensive line, Fowler or Larry Ogunjobi Quinn, 2 points per tackle, 3 for sack. So I'm guessing Fowler, Ogunjobi, Quinn.
I think I'm going Fowler.
All right.
I'm going Quinn.
Okay.
Quinn. What if you have to pick 2 of those guys? I don't know if you do, but let's just say.
Then it sounds like we're going Fowler and Quinn.
All right.
We're going Fowler and Quinn.
All right. There we go. Okay. So looks like we got all the questions done here, but so we're going to wrap up on this topic. So last week, right? The Peyton Barber. Okay. The official bet was 17 for 85 and a touchdown, 2 for 16. Peyton Barber getting around 19 points. How did that work out?
Needed that touchdown, man. Oh.
He needed a touchdown of like 30 more yards, but yeah. I'll give you credit, man. Like, stay true to your word and got that Twitter profile.
So, okay, you've got a like drawing up there right now of a guy eating crow, but you tweeted something out there that looked like you went out, shot a crow, and then gutted it. Was that real?
I think we lost him.
Oh, that's perfect timing.
He just quit. He's like, I don't want to talk about this anymore.
But that was great. Did you see that, Sean? It
Yeah,
was like
I did.
3 frames. One of it looked like him in like hunter garb, and then a flock of crows with like one of them falling, and then him on like a wooden. I don't know. It was almost like a stump with like it looked like the beak and like guts ripped out.
I'm going to choose to believe that that's what actually happened. And
He just literally ate crow.
Yeah, I'm going to choose to believe that's what happened.
Yeah, I like that. All right, so we're going to wrap it up here. Thanks everyone for joining us. Thank you, Sean and Dougie, for coming on the stream, and thanks everyone for your questions. We will be back next week for the week 5 start sit show. We kick it off around 11 o'clock. Hopefully I'll do some better planning and get some more guests. Trying to get one of the guys from Big 3 IDP to come on, and I reached out to, I think it was Adam. There we go. We got Dougie back. So he can answer the question here. Was that real? Did you actually shoot a crow, gut it, and eat it? We got to know. Your sound, no audio.
But
Oh, no.
Yes.
But yeah, we got the yes. That is amazing.
Oh, boy. All right. Well.
Yep. Well, we're going to wrap it up here.
Doug is my hero. And, yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, everyone. Make sure you're following each of us on Twitter. I'm at Nate Cheat. Sean is at Lanny1925. Doug is at Oklahoma Doug. And we've got great content we put out. He's got his feet. He sells them by the touch, and Sean is out on that one. Thanks everyone. It's been a pleasure.